You ever notice how everything that's good for you is hard? And everything that's bad for you is hard too? Yeah, that's today's topic. Because whether you're trying to lose weight, build muscle, or just not get winded walking up the stairs, it's all hard. But here's the good news. You get to choose which hard you want. Eating in a caloric deficit? Hard. Strength training consistently? Hard. Getting enough protein? Hard. Going to bed on time instead of scrolling TikTok? Very hard. Drinking water instead of another coffee? Hard. All of these things take effort. They take discipline. And honestly, they take you getting a little uncomfortable for a while. But these hards are temporary. Your body adapts. Your habits improve. You get stronger, fitter, healthier. This hard fades. Now let's talk about the other kinds of hard. The ones nobody chooses but a lot of people end up living with. Losing muscle as you age because you didn't eat enough protein and never strength trained consistently? Hard. Feeling exhausted all the time because you've lived on junk food for 20 years and lived in chronic sleep deprivation? Hard. Getting out of breath from one flight of stairs? Hard. Your doctor mentioning diabetes, high blood pressure, or chronic illness at every checkup? Yeah, hard. And unlike the first group, these hards stick around. They don't get easier, they compound. They limit your life in ways you don't notice until suddenly you do. There's a saying, it's often attributed to the Dalai Lama, and it hits the issue right on the nose. It goes something like, we sacrifice our health in order to make money. Then we sacrifice money to recuperate our health. We live as if we'll never die, and then die having never really lived. That's the lie so many of us tell ourselves when we're younger. I'll deal with my health later. I'll get in shape when life slows down. I'll fix it once I have more time, more money, less stress. But later has a price tag, and that bill always comes due. Look, I get it. I've been there, and I'm not judging. I'm speaking to remind myself of these things as much as to anyone else who needs to hear it. As humans, we're wired to avoid discomfort. So the temporary hard, the gym, the nutrition, the discipline, feels big and heavy because it's right in front of you. But the long-term hard sneaks up quietly. It shows up in your 50s and 60s. And once it's there, it's not temporary anymore. It becomes your new normal. You get to carry around that stuff like luggage. So pick your hard. If you choose the first kind, the gym, the food, the routine, yeah, it's uncomfortable for now, but it's also empowering. It gives you the control. It gives you energy. It gives you a longer runway for life. If you choose the second kind, well, technically you didn't choose it, but you'll live with it just the same. And that version of hard lasts way longer than a tough workout ever will. So ask yourself, which hard am I willing to live with? The one that lasts a few months or the one that could last you the rest of your life? I chose the hard that pays me back dividends. And if you need help figuring out where to start, hit that subscribe button. We're doing this together.